Adding a zipper pocket to your tote bag is a fantastic way to level it up. I have two different tote bags that I am going to show you in this tutorial. One has a lining and one does not. Both tote bags are going to end up with a zippered pocket. So this is version 1. This is the lining that is going inside my tote bag. And within that lining, I have added a nice zipper. So you can see here, we've got the pocket installed, and then you can see the pocket on the back end of our lining. So if you are doing a tote bag that has a lining, I highly recommend this version. Version 2 is for tote bags that do not have a lining. So let me show you how that looks. I've turned my tote bag inside out so that you can see how the lining looks installed. So it's essentially a pocket that is hanging within your tote bag. I'm going to timestamp both versions in the description down below so you can jump to the version that you want to make. I am Tamara. I teach beginner sewing tutorials here on YouTube. If you like that sort of thing, please hit that subscribe button so you don't lose me here on YouTube. Now let's jump on in to version 1. The green fabric is my tote bag lining and the peach fabric is going to be my zipper pocket. I am using an 8-inch zipper. Zippers are measured for the length of the zipper teeth, not the excess zipper tape sticking out past the zipper teeth. Zipper pockets can obviously be cut at many different sizes, but this is a suggestion for you if this is truly the first time you've ever created a pocket. To figure out the width of the fabric that you want to cut, measure the length of your zipper, so mine is 8 inches, and add 3 inches to that. That will then let you have 1.5 inches of fabric to the right and to the left of your zipper once it's installed. As far as the length of the zipper pocket that you want to cut, just consider the fact that this piece of fabric will be folded in half to create the zipper pocket. So whatever depth you want, times that by 2 because of the fold, and then add an extra 3 inches to that measurement because about 3 inches of fabric is going to end up lost above the zipper pocket once it's installed. The first thing you'll do is mark the center of your lining panel as well as the center of your zipper pocket panel. I'm doing this by folding my pieces in half and then just clipping a tiny triangle at that top edge. You can also, of course, mark it on the back side of your fabric using a marking pen. Then mark a line 1.5 inches down from that top edge and 2 inches down from that top edge. This is going to start forming our rectangle. This next step will need a little bit of math. I'm going to use my 8-inch zipper as the example. So because I'm using an 8-inch zipper, I'm going to divide that number in half, giving me 4 inches. And I'm going to take 4 inches and measure from that center marking out, marking a line on both the right and the left side of that center marking, creating a nicely centered rectangle on the back of my pocket lining. And now we need to mark our cutting lines. So mark a line down the center of your rectangle, and then just mark from those 4 corners in towards that center line, creating little triangles on the right and on the left. These triangles do not need to be perfect. Now it's finally time to sew our zipper pocket in place. So lay both the zipper pocket and your lining panel right sides together and center your pocket in place. Now you can measure down and figure out exactly where you want your zipper to sit. For myself, I'm measuring down from that top edge 2 inches, and then of course my zipper markings are 1.5 inches below that. Still, I'm comfortable with where that's going to sit, so I'm going to pin this in place and take this to my sewing machine and sew a seam around that rectangle that we've created earlier, starting and stopping with a backstitch. This next step is often skipped, but I highly recommend that you do this. You will press all of these seams nice and flat. This will allow your fabric to know where it needs to lay once it's turned right side out. Then fold your panel in half so that you can make a snip down that center line. Then you can open it up and cut along that center line and then towards those corners, following those little triangle lines that we marked. And make sure that you get very close to the corner, but not snipping past the seam that you sewed. Then push the zipper pocket lining on through the opening that you just cut and press that opening nice and flat for a second time. This second press is so much easier to do if you've already done that first press that I talked you through earlier on. I like to throw a few pins in from the back side, just holding the lining in place temporarily, flipping it over to look at the front side. Now you can see that these four corners are not tugging on the lining's fabric, and that's because of the first press that we did, as well as us snipping as close as we could to those four corners. Now it is time to add the zipper. Attention to the way that you want your zipper to open and close. So I want my zipper to open from the left to the right. So I'm going to make sure that when I lay it inside this rectangle, that I'm making sure that my zipper head is on the right-hand side when everything is face down. I'm going to pin it in place just on the right and the left before I turn it back so that I can look at it from the front side. So now you see that zipper head is on the left side when it's closed. And then I can finagle it and pin it exactly where I want everything to lay. And if you find that your zipper is sliding around too much, you can opt to use this double-sided tape to stick your zipper in place as well. I'm going to omit that step. I'm pretty comfortable with where I'm pinning everything. And once you've got your zipper pinned exactly where you want it, just flip it back over and remove those pins that were added originally on the back side. Then take it to your sewing machine and sew a top stitch around the entire rectangle. I do use a zipper foot for this, and as you're sewing along that inner folded edge, you're going to come across the zipper head. When you do, you can just leave your needle in the sewing project, lift the zipper foot up, and then you can move the zipper head out of your way before putting the zipper foot back down and continuing sewing down your line. And this is what it will look like once the zipper is sewn into place. Now it is finally time to finish up our zipper pocket. The way that we'll do this is folding the lining of the zipper pocket in half, lining up all three of those raw edges. And if you want, you can take your iron and just give that folded edge a nice press. Then clip around all three raw edges. Then tuck away the outer lining fabric before taking it to your sewing machine and sewing a 1/2 inch seam allowance around all three raw edges, starting and stopping with a backstitch, of course. And this is what your zipper pocket will look like once it is completely finished. It looks so professional, and I love to add it into a lot of my different tote bags. Now, before we jump on in to version 2, I would just like to ask you to please hit that thumbs up button if you are finding this tutorial helpful. That lets YouTube know that this is a good tutorial, and then YouTube will share it with others. All right, let's jump on in to version 2. This version is the perfect version to add into a tote bag that you know will not have lining. I am going to use some grosgrain ribbon to seal the edges of my pocket, but you could easily use a serger or even just a regular stitch and a zigzag stitch, or even some binding that you've cut from the same fabric. Figure out the amount of space that you will have between your handles of your tote bag. Then cut your pocket width a little bit narrower than that space. So for myself, it's a 6-inch width. I'm going to cut my fabric at around 5.5 inches. The length of the pocket, of course, has a lot more flexibility to it. Just know that you will be folding it a little over halfway. You'll have a little bit of that fabric sticking above the zipper. You'll see what I mean as we go along. So for my piece of fabric, I chose to cut it 13 inches long. Now I'm going to attach my zipper on top of that. I'm going to use just this cheap zipper here. It's about an 8-inch long zipper. It's longer than my piece of fabric, and I want it that way. So I'm going to center my zipper on that top edge face down, pinning it in place, and then sewing a seam across that top edge using a zipper foot. Then I'm going to grab a second piece of fabric that is cut the same width as your last piece and is at least 3 inches long. Lay it right side face down along the other edge of your zipper, clip that in place, bring it to your sewing machine and sew a seam across that top edge. Once again, I used a zipper foot for this. Then with your fingers, just press the fabric open and bring it back to your sewing machine, sewing a top stitch across both of those zipper edges. That will just hold the zipper tape in place nicely within the pocket. Now, because I had not cut the excess fabric away from that top piece of fabric yet, I'm just going to fold my pocket in half, figure out exactly how high I want the fabric to be above my zipper. I know I'm tucking it into a hem that is 1 inch in depth, so I'm going to cut the top half 2 inches high. You can see here, I'm just testing to see what my pocket will look like within my tote bag itself. I'm quite happy with that. So now it's time to prep my binding. And I use a wool pressing mat, so I'm going to throw a few pins in there, and then I can fold my grosgrain in half, pulling it through that pin section and giving it a quick press. I have my iron set to its lightest heat setting so that I don't melt my ribbon. This step may seem a little excessive to you, and that's probably because it is. You probably could skip this step if you wanted and just fold your ribbon over the raw edge in the next step and clip it in place. Lay your pocket wrong sides together, lining up that top edge. Then cut away the side of your zipper that does not have the zipper head within it. Lay your grosgrain ribbon along that side edge, clipping it in place, and then giving yourself about 1 inch of ribbon sticking out that bottom edge. Cut it, and then you can fold that ribbon up within itself so that you can seal in the bottom edge nicely. Then take this to your sewing machine and you will sew a little over 1/4 inch seam allowance along that side edge. I like to do a little bit over 1/4 inch because I find that allows my sewing machine to be able to catch the grosgrain ribbon from the top and from the back while I'm sewing that seam. And of course, start and stop with a back stitch. And now that we've sealed in the one side of our pocket, it's time to seal in the opposite side. Now this is important. Remember to zip your zipper head into the center of your pocket. Then you can cut away the excess from that zipper and do the same thing that you did on the other side. So cut enough binding or grosgrain ribbon to be about 1 inch longer than that side. Of course, folding and tucking in that bottom edge to seal in the bottom edge nicely. Sewing that 1/4 inch top stitch all the way along that edge, starting and stopping with a back stitch. Now that our pocket is pretty much finished, it has one raw edge left, and that is the top edge. And that top edge, you will just slip on into the hem of your tote bag, clip it in place, and finish sewing your tote bag however you have planned, ending up with a pocket installed into a tote bag that doesn't have a lining. So you've added a zipper pocket to your tote bag, but if you really want to level up your tote bag, I highly recommend that you add an insert into the bottom of your tote bag because it will give you this nice flat bottom look. No sagging, just flat. I will link to that tutorial in the description down below, as well as to a few other tutorials that I have of different tote bags that you can learn to sew. I hope that you guys are having a wonderful day, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.